Say hello, Linda.
Hello, Linda.
Hey, we're camped in the Rocky Mountains along the Teton River. I think that's what that river is. This is Teton Pass Road.
It must be the Teton River.
And we just got here yesterday. We're about to go for a walk. Wanted to bring you along with us. And there's some things I want to talk about. I want to show you some equipment that's, I wanted to give you an update on some equipment we've been using for a while. So we did that too in this video. Took you for a little bike ride, showed you some nice camp spots that are kind of a dilemma. So you're going to want to watch that. Okay, guys, let's go for a walk. Let's see what's in these woods. It keeps trying to rain on us, and that's moving our way. So we'll see what happens here. Hey, bear. Just let you know I'm coming through.
Whoa.
Holy moly. Oh, man.
Oh, geez.
That was close. Wow.
Alan almost knocked me over.
That's the loudest lightning I've heard in a long time. Whew. Well, I wonder if we should go back to the car and wait this one out.
I think so.
Yeah.
See, that's how we have things that lightning is attracted to.
Yeah, I'm attracted to you.
Like short Asian women.
Yeah. All right, let's go. We're going to wait on this. We're going to give this time to pass. It might take an hour or two, but we'll try this again a little bit. Hey, I got to show you something. Watch what my phone can do.
Make phone calls.
I can call this flower. Watch this. I take a picture of the flower, and then it tells me what the heck it was. That's a meadow salsify.
Salsify.
Meadow salsify.
Yeah.
See? It's hard to see in the light here, but
Yeah.
I took a picture of the flower, and it came up with a picture of it and says what it is.
I just found
Salsify.
that out on my phone, too.
You got that?
Yeah.
What a neat thing. Yeah, it's called Google Lens, I guess, and whatever you take a picture of, like if I took a picture of my coffee cup and it immediately showed it on Amazon. So it does that. It's pretty cool. We're just going to wait in the car for a bit. Well, we're going to try this again.
This is take 2.
The only thing is now we got to avoid the thick woods, otherwise we just get soaking wet, because man, did it rain. And of course all the bushes and grass and everything is just coated with water, so we'll see what we can find. So Linda, should you whistle to scare away a bear?
I don't know. I don't think so.
How come?
Because I think a wounded animal might sound like that to them. And also don't, what are those little critters? Gophers? Don't they whistle?
They do. They make a whistling noise.
Yeah.
That's food for the bears, so. Oh, look at the view here. The mountain in the distance. Wow, that's a big rock. Must be why they call these the Rocky Mountains.
Well, all that is just solid rock.
Yeah, it is.
And don't use a bell, because that's like dinner bell.
I saw a study day before yesterday done on sidearms for bear defense, and it was looking back on all the different cases over many, many years, everything from 22 Magnum up to 500 Smith & Wesson, and overall a sidearm compared to bear spray was 98% effective. One thing was that in a lot of the cases, all they had to do was fire a warning shot to scare the bear off. And most of the time the bear does run away at the noise, but not always. Bear spray, I don't believe in, because so often here in Montana it's so windy that bear spray wouldn't do you any good at all.
It might,
and then
the bear spray might incapacitate yourself.
That's true. And the other thing is that, like that case in Wyoming where they used bear spray on the bear once or twice, and the bear kept coming back and severely mauled one man. So the bear spray wasn't totally effective there. Anyways, Linda and I carry Montana bear spray, which is Sidearms. In the state of Montana, along all of the rivers, they were dredged for gold. For example, it's pretty obvious that this was all dredged up and redeposited. So there are no artifacts from ancient days. You're not going to find any arrowheads or anything like that. Not along the rivers. This has all been turned over. Used to be that the Rocky Mountains were grizzly country, and you do see grizzly bears here. And then camping in the Little Belt Mountains, kind of in central Montana, was safer because it was just black bears, which aren't that safe. But now the grizzly bears are clear out on the plains of Montana, and they're into the Little Belt Mountains. So you got to watch it wherever you go. Definitely don't be camping out here in a tent. Pretty thick and pretty wet. This is the end of June. There's the water. And you can see our pant legs are soaking wet just from coming through the grass here. But we made it down to the river. There's fish in that there river. So what do you see?
Nice and clear.
Very clear. There is a nice campground on the way in here. The road's pretty bad getting in here. Teton Pass Road. It's out of Shoto, Montana. A beautiful, beautiful campground. We drove through it yesterday. There was only one or two other people in there, but it's totally shaded at every campsite. No solar, so we knew there was some dispersed camping up further for that. Not very many people out right now. And this is summer now, isn't it, Linda?
First day of summer, yeah.
Yeah, so this is already the first of summer, so waiting for it to warm up a bit. Now, you're not picking a rock to take home, are you? Oh no, you're just tying your boot. Okay, Lucy. Some of you may remember the movie Long, Long Honeymoon with Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz. It was before they actually went into comedy. So it was a funny movie, but it was also very serious. In the movie, Lucy keeps collecting rocks, and in one trailer court where they're living, this is 1950s stuff, she makes this nice rock garden, but when they leave there and have to move, she insists on taking them all with her. Of course, Desi says, no, you're not doing that, Lucy. But she stuffs them in all the cabinets and under the furniture, and she loads the trailer down so much with rocks that he almost can't tow it out. Kind of a neat campsite, isn't it?
Yeah, really nicely laid out, and
yeah,
stone fireplaces.
Yep. How are you getting along on that sore ankle?
It's okay. I know it's a sore ankle. But I think those slippery round rocks over there are kind of twisted. But I'm all right. But my broken toe is another story.
She just broke her toe just yesterday. She's not accident prone. She hardly ever has to see a doctor for anything. And just one tough bugger. But yeah, things happen though. Well, this is the end of June. It kind of looks to me like somebody poached an elk. This is all really fresh. I mean, not fresh, but definitely not from last hunting season. Well, it's not like we're going anywhere in particular, but it's just nice to be out. You all know the feeling when you've been cooped up in the house. We got back from Florida and I had so many projects ahead of me. I had several reviews that I needed to get done and they were just waiting. And I spent a good solid 3 weeks just really working for a living. But we finished. Our plan is to spend time here in Montana while the weather's good. But luckily for us, there's a lot of places to see here in Montana and places to go. So it'll be fun. Hey, I wanted to take this opportunity to update you guys on some things that we've installed on the trailer or things that we carry along and how it's working out. There's 3 items I want to talk about in particular. But first of all, the solar that we installed, you know, we just put 600 watts on the roof, replacing our 400 watts that we had. This thing is cranking. Like right now, it is heavy overcast. We're still getting 175 watts. So I'm real happy with the new solar. But then this morning it dawned upon me that I didn't have a lithium battery charger to plug into my propane generator. You know, for when you get like 4 or 5 days of heavy overcast or rain, or it happens. We've been there several times. But we bought that little propane generator and I wanted to say something about that. A few months ago when we were down in Arizona, actually, it's more than a few months now. It's probably 6 months. But anyways, I bought this Alp 1000 generator because we were getting so much rain down there and our solar at the time just wasn't keeping up. So I bought this and this is not a review on this. This is an update. And if you want to know more about it, I'm going to put a link below to the actual review that I did on it so you can get all the details. But here's the thing. In that review, I mentioned that it was a little noisy for a little generator, and but it was, you know, it was acceptable. Well, about 2 months after I bought this, I was changing the oil on it, and I noticed a piece of plastic in the bottom of the inside of it. And I looked around and I discovered that the upper motor mount was broken. It had shipping damage that I couldn't see. And I thought, oh great, I've had this thing for 2 months. It was 2 months old at that time. And now I'm going to have to send it back. I don't have the box. When we were in Arizona, I couldn't keep this big box in the trailer or anything, so I threw it away. So I got a hold of the company. Oh, and we were 6 days from leaving for Florida at that point. And I called up Alp and I said, I discovered it has a broken up and upper engine mount, but I'm leaving. Now you have to understand, Alp did not know that I have a YouTube channel. I was just a customer because I bought that. And they told me, they says, that's okay. We're going to put a new one in, you know, we're going to ship out a new one today. And when you get the new one, just put that one in and send it back in the box. They were so good. And I got it in 3 days. I had a brand new generator. The thing is, it's a lot quieter now. It's amazing how much noise that engine will make when one of the motor mounts is broken. It's a great little generator. Something else about that generator. There was a little bit of confusion. Now, when I did my review video, I made it perfectly clear that this little generator is designed to recharge your batteries. Now, I also suggested in the video that you buy a battery charger that plugs in to here because most of us are going to be recharging lithium batteries and you want to be very careful on how you charge them. You see, it's got a connector up here that you can plug in and go directly to the batteries. However, it states that this is for lead acid batteries only. Lithium batteries should be charged off the 110, going to a lithium battery charger, and then to your lithium batteries. So you got that? Now this only puts out 850 watts, so basically about an 8 amp battery charger will plug into here and charge your lithium batteries. So I wanted to make that clear. Another thing is somebody commented, they said, oh, I plugged my RV into this and it immediately shut off. Well, yeah, it only puts out 850 watts. It's designed to augment solar. When you don't get enough solar and you just need to recharge your batteries, that's what this is for, and it works very well for that. And just to reiterate, this runs off of propane, not gasoline. It's not dual fuel, so it's smaller because it doesn't have to have a gas tank in it, and you're not carrying around a load of gas whenever you pick it up, so that makes it a lot lighter. It just hooks up directly to my propane tank, or it'll run off those little 1 pound bottles, but watch the review video on it. A couple little more things. It states in the manual that it takes about 4 pulls to start it on the cord, and that's what it does. And another thing is that according to the manual, you want to let it run for a few minutes before you plug a load into it. Otherwise, it's still warming up. So be sure you do that also. Okay, let's talk about some other equipment. This is our Clam Venture tent, which we've mentioned many, many times in our videos. This is the original one that we bought years ago. We take care of it. It stands up really well. It's lasting really good. And but we don't leave it up in high winds. Usually when the winds get up above 20, we take it down. We just care for it. But it's not wearing out or anything. However, I just learned that Clam makes tents that don't have this flap on here, which goes over the side panel, which keeps the rain out. This one has it, but some don't have it. Some clams don't have this. So be careful when you buy. Make sure it's got this flap. The Gazelles didn't used to have a flap like that, and now I see that the Gazelles also come with that flap. But just make sure when you buy your shelter that it has that flap to keep the rain off the side panels. That's really important. By the way, this is the Clam Venture. It's got a 9-foot diameter base on it, and Linda found it just perfect for us. Right there you can see it's got my e-bike inside and a couple of chairs. Starlink. It works absolutely fantastic. There's some places we get to on the road where, like down in Florida, it was a little slow, but it was still plenty fast enough for me to upload videos. And in most places we camp, it's like having a home internet with you. It's that good. However, we've had a problem with the cables. These cables are, I think, like 75 bucks, and I've had 2 of these cables go bad, but not the one that we use on the road all the time. The 2 cables that have gone bad were mounted on our house. They don't move. The wind doesn't flap them around. It just goes up to the dish, and their cables are nicely secured, and there's no tight bends or anything. These Starlinks are designed to melt ice off of them, ice and snow. And I did read that that heating element is too much for the cables. I got a hold of Starlink. I told them, I says, I've lost 2 cables so far. I live in Montana, it gets cold here, the heating element comes on a lot. And I says, do you have a better cable that I could install? They wrote back and they says, well, that shouldn't do it, and that's the only cable we have. You know, every time the temperature drops below 40 degrees, that heating element comes on, and I do think it's destroying the cables, and they're not cheap. So I wanted to inform you about that. We've turned off the heating element so that it doesn't come on just because the temperature drops below 40. I'll just turn the heating element on manually, which you can do whenever I see that there's ice forming on the Starlink. I won't just let it run all the time. But I was disappointed that the cable didn't stand up. This set power refrigerator, we've been using it steadily now for the last 2 months. And I mentioned in the review video on this one that it was the most efficient refrigerator that I'd gotten so far. And, you know, it uses the least amount of power, and that's true. It's also the quietest refrigerator, so this one's worked out real well. If you want to watch the review on it, I'll put the link down below too. But it's still going strong, doing just what it's supposed to do. While I was just doing the video on the equipment here in camp, I kept smelling smoke, and I thought, there's no campsites within a half a mile of us. You know what it was? This Olight flashlight was burning a hole in my pocket. Right here. It was on boost mode or whatever. It got turned on accidentally. I won't be carrying this in my pocket anymore. Well, Linda and I went for a little walk last evening, and this is only a couple hundred feet from our camp. We found this road that's it's got one set of tracks on it, but it's mostly untraveled. And then it goes up here to the main road, and it's blocked off. Here you can see it's blocked off with huge boulders. There's a cord strung across here. But if you look back over here, you can see that this was a Forest Service road, number 1441. And then, if we come around the other side here, see a metal post And there was obviously a sign here. Now this is National Forest, so the National Forest blocked this road off for some reason. I want to take the e-bike and I want to follow this road and see where it goes. Okay, we're just starting out where I just off the main road, starting back in. I do see one set of tracks, so somebody got in here, within the last couple of weeks anyway, and traveled down through here. But let's take a look. Linda and I came down here and we started finding campsites back in here. There's this one here off to the right side where you could back in here and camp. The Teton River is against the mountainside in front of us. So that's down here, and these campsites are kind of along the Teton River. Up here to the left is a campsite with a huge fire ring. It's the biggest fire ring I've ever seen. Let's go look at that. This was obviously built by a bunch of people. This fire ring is 12 feet in diameter, and you would have been able to have some nice, it's bigger than 12 feet in diameter, but you would have had some nice fires here. Let's go check further down the road. Looks like another camping spot here off to the left. There's plenty of spots here. Here's a nice spot to camp. The nice fire ring. And you can see the Teton River right there, just 30 yards off. Yeah, nice places to camp, right? But stay tuned, there's a story with this. What a beautiful place. The road goes to the right here. Used to go to the left here. Into a beautiful little campsite here. We came in from there, we're going to go out to the left here, get back on that same road. And you got to understand, this road isn't in use anymore. That's why it looks like this, overgrown here. I'm sure that this is another place to camp back in here, because it looks like you can pull in here, or could pull in here at one time. I'll bet if we walked back in here, we'd find a fire ring. See what I mean? People used to come in here and camp. Boy, what a beautiful place. You know, one thing that I hear about e-bikes all the time from people that don't know about them or haven't ridden them, they say, what if you run out of battery? Well, for one thing, that bugger will go, just on throttle alone, it'll do like 25 miles if I don't even pedal. I always pedal. If you pedal, you can go like 40 miles. But that would be like saying, I don't want to drive a car because it might run out of gas. It's got a meter on it that it tells you how much battery power you got. It says I got 90%. This is your fuel gauge right here. Well, I'm making my point. You can see that there was a road through here with beautiful, beautiful campsites. Now the road's a little rough up here. You'd still get a pickup truck and a camper back in here. The road keeps going. We're heading out towards the main road again. See what's at the other end. Okay, we're coming up to where the road is blocked here with big boulders again. Let's see if I can get my e-bike through here. All right, then we're back up to the main road. I'll make my point now. This is the entrance where I just rode up through, and there's a faded sign over there. So here's the thing. Not too long after Linda and I moved to Montana, just a couple years after we moved here, you used to be able to travel all these roads like what I was just on. And there was all kinds of branch roads that went out into the national forest, and the camping was fantastic. But at that time, about 20 some years ago, they blocked off all but the main road. Through all the national forests right now, there'll be one main road, and most, if not all of the side roads, depending on where you're at, are blocked off. So we used to have lots of wonderful places to camp, like what I just showed you. Now you can't camp there anymore. There's only a few spots to camp now, and that's why dispersed camping has gotten so hard to find. Our access has been limited, severely limited. And I don't really understand why, because nothing was being hurt there at all. And as you can see, the campsites are clean. Montanans are clean campers. So for whatever reason they did that, I don't agree. And I remember when they did it, and it really ruined the forest as far as public access. So what's that like? It's like in England, where the forest is for the king and not, and not for you.
The forest is for me, and not for thee.
And now the forest here is closed off to us commoners. It really upsets me, it really ticks me off. Someday, something's going to have to be done about this.
Hi guys, we're almost back to camp, but we just thought we'd take you along on this little walkabout. Nothing special, but it was to us. Every walkabout is special.
Yeah, it is. It was just nice being out. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hey, I don't like to ask for money, and I never do in my videos, but if you'd please consider donating to the channel, we could sure use the help. Patreon, there's a link below. PayPal, there's a link below. There's also the YouTube Super Thanks, which works really well. Just if you don't mind, we'd sure appreciate it. A couple of bucks would sure go a long ways. Hey, see you around.